Alright, hello, my name's Peter Anton. I'm an art student, and these are my art student diaries. What I do with these videos is I create them for myself as like a backlog of kind of journal entries that I look back on, so I can look back on where I was, 10 years from now I can look back on what I was going through when I was a student and how far I've come, right? Because I'm going from student to professional, and so I'm creating these as a just a way for me to look back and see, oh, what was I going through? And I also like to make videos on how to get over plateaus and how to deal with frustration so that when I feel frustrated, I can watch these videos and it'll be my wise mind self talking to my self that's feeling in the moment really depressed and anxious or whatever I'm going through. That these videos, I can rewatch them and learn how to and move through this stuff. So I don't really expect these will have much of an audience at all. These are pretty much just for me, but maybe someone will just look at them. Maybe people who like my art in the future might watch them and be like, "Oh, look at how young Peter was," or "Look at how look at him when he was a student. He's going through the same stuff I am." So I feel like they'll have a lot of value in the future, at least for me. Maybe for students who are going through the same stuff as I am. But right now, I'm going through a transition because I'm just really unhappy and depressed and not feeling good about my art and where I am. So, well, my situation is, I mean, it's not a tragedy or anything. It's just I'm not feeling happy with my life. I'm not feeling happy with, like, I've not really had any significant romantic connections with anyone, like relationships, um, that I feel like is a close bond. I don't really feel like I have a lot of close friends. Like I feel I have trouble connecting with people, so I'm feeling very lonely. And well, I was talking with my mom last night, which is one of the reasons I'm really glad I live with my parents because I get depressed sometimes, and so I'm glad that I'm not totally alone because if I were, it'd be a lot harder to get through this stuff. But I was talking with my mom about just feeling like I have trouble connecting with people. I think because I invest a lot into people and I tend to want to get really close to people, and but I feel like when I do that, I don't get that back in return. So it's just kind of like I feel like when I've invested in people in the past, it's just like emotionally invested in people in the past, they just leave or go away, or they don't want to hang out with me, or well, that's my experience. I don't know how true it is, but that's been my experience. That's how it feels. I don't know. It's also that I just a lot of times I don't like hanging out with a lot of like big groups of people. I'm very introverted, so I like having a few close friends, and I like talking about more like deeper subjects than just surface level stuff. So I don't really like going to parties, which I guess would be better for my loneliness, but I don't like interacting with people. Like what I'm craving isn't just like vapid, quick interactions with people that just like, oh hey, how's it going? What's up? Like I crave deeper connections with, like it doesn't have to be a lot of people, but just a few people. So craving those deeper connections, and I don't know if it's a societal thing or if everyone goes through this, but it just seems like our I don't know if it's about present day society. I think maybe in the past societies were more tight knit, but now it's just like, but maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's not a society thing. Maybe it's a Peter thing where I'm just not doing the things I should do or the things that would help me to form deep connections with people. Maybe I need to be more vulnerable, or maybe I need to be friendlier. to people. Maybe I do need to do more of that, not networking, but just I try to be friendly to people and use people's names. I'm not trying to be mean to people when I'm out in public or anything, but maybe I do need to go to more parties and things like that. That would be a connection, a place where you could start to form deeper connections with people. But I don't know. Well, I figure part of the reason I'm depressed is just because I'm not really happy with my life. I mean, my life is great by a lot of measures, but it's sort of like, what's the point if you're not happy, right? It, it's like, yeah, you don't have. Right. I guess I'm happy that I don't have. I'm not like I didn't go the route of taking a bunch of student loans, and so I'm not in a bunch of student loan debt or anything, which is really good because it means I don't have to go get a job that I really hate, and I can just live with my parents and walk dogs and be comfortable just doing art. So that's really good. I'm thankful for that. I did go to college. My parents paid for it. I think I don't personally feel like I got a lot out of it, and I would not have gone if my parents had not paid for it. Like if I were, like my parents placed a huge value on higher education, so it was never really a choice whether to go to college or not. I mean, my mom did most of the stuff for the applications with colleges. I just did the stuff I had to do, like the essays and stuff, but it was just kind of like getting dragged along. And I don't want to sound like an ungrateful brat, but yeah, I don't think I would have done any of it if my parents hadn't been so insistent. I probably would have just started working after high school, uh, probably just work in a dog kennel or something, and end up doing online art school the same way I am now. But I think going to college was the right decision because I think if I hadn't gone to college, I wouldn't have had this cushion. Like I probably would not have been allowed to live with my parents, but I guess that's what I'd assume, because they place so much importance on it. Is if I hadn't gone to college, I'd be of course sort of on my own financially. That would be my guess. How much value did I get out of college? Well, I did University of Richmond with a majoring in, which is more of a business school, but I was just so depressed. Like the only thing I could do was studio art, and it's not a great school for studio art. Honestly, I don't feel like I got a great education in just learning how to draw and paint. It's, I like a lot of the people there, but do I feel like I really got a stellar foundational grounding in art? Not really. I'm sure I got some value out of college that will present itself in the future, but I mean, I definitely wouldn't recommend it to artists, especially a liberal arts school. If you are going to go to a four-year school, make sure it's a good one, and only if your parents can pay for it. I would never recommend dropping $100,000 or $120,000 on art school. Really bad idea, I think. You just start off your career in a whole bunch of debt, and then you have to dig your way through it. And not just artists either. I mean, unless you're going into a field with that's really in demand with high-paying jobs, like coding, cybersecurity, things like that are really in demand, like programmers and such. I don't know. I know nothing about the field, but that seems like something that'd be popular right now. I think unless you're doing that, then college is not going to be worth it for you, because it's just like if you're going to get an English degree and you're dropping 120 grand, like what are you going to do? Teach English, be a copywriter, be an editor? Eh. Not that there's not value in an English degree, because learning how to write and interpret things that are, you know, learning how to break down what you read, things that are more cryptic and hard to understand, that's can be really valuable in a work environment. But as far as it being worth 120 grand, I don't think it's worth that investment, even if the education is valuable, if you want to do that. So it's not like what you get out of college is worthless, but I don't think that it's worth what you pay for, especially with student loans, which, you know, you're not only paying whatever you're paying. Say you take out, even if you take out like on the low end even 30,000, right? But a lot of times it can get up to 120, and you know, I've seen it higher than that. Just listening to podcasts and people's experiences, you get even higher than that. Like you could, so not only is it that base $30,000, but I mean you have to make those minimum payments every month plus interest. So it's not just the $30,000; it's $30,000 plus interest. So you can end up paying like double that over the course of it, if you're lucky enough to pay it off ever. Some people are in their old age and they still haven't paid off their student loans, and then they get their Social Security docked, right? So it's, yeah, I would not recommend going to college for artists if you want to be an artist. Now, if you want to be an engineer and do art as a hobby, well then fine. But if you want to make art for a living, if you're like me, I guess, if you want to be an illustrator, I wouldn't go to college. Not the price is too much, and a lot of times you're not getting the quality of education that you could get online, working with better artists who are actually working in the industry. So yeah, that's my thought. I think the one downside is that you can't develop that network of artist friends, and maybe that's what I'm feeling right now, is just feeling like I want more friends who have the same interests as me and like drawing, and we could motivate each other and share art with each other. That'd be really cool. I just don't know if social media is the same. It's okay, but that in-person connection I think is really important. But so one of my goals, I'm doing my whiteboard right now, which is I was thinking about, well, if my current situation is not acceptable to me, especially I'm gonna turn 29 in August, so a couple months. I'm gonna turn 29, which means I'm almost 30, which means I'm too old by my own standards to live with my parents. And so I've moved out once in my mid-20s, maybe like 26 maybe. I moved out for a year. I was also living away from them when I was in college, so I guess from ages like 18 to 22, something like that. But I want to move out once and for all. I would say I want to move out and never have to move back in again. So I kind of asked myself what I would have to do in order to make that happen, and that would mean I'd need to be making enough money with my art in order to move out of the house. So I have as my goal here, I picked one of my goals. So my goals are to illustrate for things like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons and Hearthstone and perhaps books, perhaps some creature design, but I decided to pick just one of those that would be really tangible, and that would be a really good measure of, oh, this would mean I've made it. So the thing I picked was get hired to illustrate a Magic the Gathering card by January 31st, 2023. So it's currently June 26th, 2021. So I've got a year and 6 months, maybe 7 months. Yeah, a year and 7 months in order to get hired on a Magic the Gathering card. And let me go ahead and show you. Bring this forward. Okay, bring this down. So let's look at where we are right now. These are my videos. We'll go to desktop. Make sure this is capturing. Yes, okay. And we'll go to inspirational art. Art inspiration, yeah. So let's go to the Magic the Gathering art. So here's a Magic the Gathering art image. And let's see if we can find something else. Here's another one. Okay. And I think these are all MTG. Yeah, we can just go through these. Yeah, these are all Magic the Gathering cards. So I think I could do something like this in, let's see, a year and 7 months. I have to get to this level. I must get to this level in a year and 7 months. And let me show you where I currently am. And so we'll see all photos. Oops. No, I don't want that. Let's go to... Okay, we can go to here. I know what I can do. Google Drive. Go to Drive. Okay, so we'll go to Art Portfolio. Here's where I am right now. So we got to get from here to here. We got to get from here to here in 7 months. Or in a year and 7 months. Okay, so got to work on the rendering. Got to work on getting these leaf shapes more solid. Got to get a better sense of lighting. I think the composition on this one isn't that bad. But I definitely got to work on the rendering, textures, construction, especially like the details on the hands. Let's look at some more. So we'll look at, say, this one. This is another one I did. So yeah, definitely work on composition. Because see how much more dynamic this image is than this one? Now, this isn't bad. I think I can do it. Looking at this is actually from a few years ago. So let's see. Let's look at. So yeah, I think I can do this. I can definitely do this. I can definitely get hired to illustrate a Magic the Gathering card by January 31st, 2023. A year and 7 months to get from where I am now to here. It's going to require a lot of work, but I can definitely do it. It's going to require a lot of work. Mainly, let's see, just look at these. These are not Magic the Gathering images, but yeah, this one is. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. I think if I do 5 to 6 hours a day, I'm thinking I want to get 5 hours this week, every day, except for Friday. Friday's my day off, where I'm just not allowed to do any art. So if I do 5 hours a day, 6 days a week for the next year and 7 months, for the next year and a half. So yeah, let me write that down. So it's 5 hours a day, 6 days a week for a year and a half. I think that'll do it. If I'm doing the right stuff and I'm not just doodling for that amount of time, I think that'll do it. I can see it. So in 2 years, less than 2 years, a year and a half, I'm going to get hired to do a Magic the Gathering card, a creature card, like a squirrel or something. It doesn't need to be crazy complex, like multi-figure something, but hired to do a Magic the Gathering card, and I think the focus would be a creature. Let's do a creature card. Doesn't have to be a creature, but any Magic the Gathering card. I think what I'm seeing in my mind is a creature like one of those squirrels that I was showing you. So yeah, that seems doable to me. So in a year and a half, let's get to that professional level. So that's going to mean I need to get a portfolio together. That's going to mean I need like 10 to 20 really solid paintings, finished illustrations that I can put in my portfolio. That's going to mean I need to learn how to execute and finish things and come up with a production pipeline. So it's kind of daunting, but I think that's a good thing because it's going to force me. All of a sudden your thinking shifts from, can I do it? To, okay, we're going to do it by 2023. Within the first month of 2023, we're going to get there. So the question stops being, can I do this? Can I get there? And it starts becoming, how can I get there? What do I need to do to make it happen? And the gears start turning, okay? So the gears are turning and we're going to get there. Definitely I can do this. Definitely I'm going to do this. It's just how. Now I start thinking how. How am I going to make this happen? How do I step my game up? What do I need to study? What are my weaknesses? So you're going to need to study some Magic the Gathering cards, right? You should start a folder full of art from Magic the Gathering. I'm already partly there. And then I would need to study those every day to see what am I missing. So I would do a daily master study to see what am I missing here. So you're constantly exposing yourself to the standard that you need to get to. So then you know what you need to work on, right? You do a master study and you're like, man, this guy is so good at fur, so maybe I'll go study fur. Maybe it's like, oh, this guy's so good at doing smooth transitions, so maybe I'll go study how to do smooth transitions in oil paint or something. And then, so constantly exposing yourself to the level of art that you need to get to if you want to achieve this goal. So yeah, it's totally possible. People have done it. You could totally do it. I could do it in a year probably if I put in twice the time per day. Like if I put in 10 hours a day, I could probably do it in a year. I'm just not willing to sacrifice my health and sanity in order to draw for 10 hours a day. It just, I don't know that that's doable. I'd have to sacrifice everything to art, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather do it slow in a more controlled way. That's more sustainable. So I think 5 hours a day, 6 days a week, we can get there. We can get there for sure. So yeah, let's go. Let's go do that. I'm still feeling a little bit down, but I know that once I start taking some actions towards this goal, because goals are not, they don't just happen magically, you have to actually take action. I know that today I'm going to work on cleaning my room, I'm going to do some laundry, I'm going to vacuum, I'm going to probably text some friends, maybe call my brother, I feel like this depression is necessary for getting me to where I want to go. So I think we always feel the worst right before a change, because we experience a lot of, it's like, I need to be a professional artist, and not like professional artist, but I need to be creating the kind of art that I see in my head, and it's not, I'm not myself, I'm not me if I'm not an artist. It's, if I'm not an artist, I'm nothing, you know. I have to do this. I don't know why, but it's just, I have to get to I have to be an artist. I have to be a great artist. I have to. I got it. I got to. I need to. I can't not do this. I cannot see myself as anything but an artist. I have to be an artist. And if I'm gonna be an artist, I'm not gonna be a mediocre artist. If I'm gonna be an artist, I'm gonna be a great artist. And part of being the artist I want to be is getting work on a Magic the Gathering card. That would signify to me that, yes, okay, that's a big win for me. Now, it doesn't mean that once I achieve that goal, it's like everything's magical and happy, but that's a juicy goal. It's a tangible goal that I can see. So let's go. Magic the Gathering card by January 31st, 2023. Okay. Alright, so we're going to look back on this video in 2023, and we're going to be like, you know what? It started with this video. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. And then we're gonna look back on this video and be like, that's where it started. That's where I decided I'm absolutely gonna get my art on a Magic the Gathering card. I'm gonna get hired for it by January 31st, 2023. And then we're gonna move out of our parents' house forever by August 14th, 2023. Okay? And in between then, I wanna do some traveling. I wanna go to England. I can go to England with my mom and see if I can rope my brother into that. Maybe we can do like a whole family trip, because we haven't done a family trip in a long time. Maybe we can do a whole family trip to England, like North England. I definitely want to see the art museums there, so that'd be a good trip. And then I think in my 30s I want to go to Europe and do like Italy and France. I think those are the main ones. Maybe Spain. Yeah, I definitely want to travel to Europe and see the art there. But I want to get out more too. Yeah, going to Japan with my brother maybe in 2022. Maybe later. It depends on what's happening with COVID restrictions and stuff, if that's all cleared up by then. But we'll see. Yeah, it's always darkest before the light, as they say. And like, this too shall pass, and so this happened for a reason. This week of like, bleh, where I've just felt kind of depressed all week. Like, not so depressed that I can't do stuff, but it's just I've been kind of in a funk all week. So this happened for a reason. I know I'm going to come out at the end of it thankful that I went through this. Kind of a crappy week, but this is such a slow plotting video, and it's going to be like an hour long, so I don't really expect anyone's going to listen to it or watch it, but I needed to do it for me, and I'm going to post it so I can look back on it years from now. So, yeah, that's going to be it. Yeah, we're going to get through this, so it's going to be better in the end. So it might be a hard day, but it's going to get better, so let's keep going. Just some days you just survive, you know. Some days it's just about surviving, persisting, and it will get better. So just keeping the faith, and there's a lot of happiness and joy in life if you just survive the hardships and continue stepping towards that brighter future. So yeah, we're gonna get there. I'm tired. Just emotionally tired. But that's all. it's gonna get better for sure. I'm just gonna keep that positive attitude and keep the faith, and it'll work out. So y'all take care. Goodbye.